When my wife said she was taking my sister dress shopping for her wedding, I thought nothing of it. Then I found a text from my sister saying, "He still hasn't caught on." My heart dropped. I set up a GPS tracker in her car. They were meeting at a motel, every Thursday. I waited for her birthday party to confront them. I said, "I got you something special." Then I held up the printouts. The room went silent. My mother threw her drink. My sister ran out crying. That was the last time either of them stepped foot in my life. This story starts with something small. A sentence. One of those casual things people say that you don't think twice about until it's too late. My wife, Leah, told me she was taking my sister, Haley, dress shopping. Haley had just gotten engaged to a guy named Tony, nice enough, if not the most exciting dude. She and Leah were close. Leah always treated her like a little sister. It made sense they'd spend time together planning the wedding. Or so I thought. This happened in Dayton, Ohio. That's where I've lived all my life. I work maintenance at the hospital here. I fix busted pipes, broken locks, air filters, whatever they throw at me. It's not glamorous, but it pays all right. Leah used to joke that I was her fix-it man. Thought that was funny back then. Not so much now. Leah and I were together since we were 17. Married at 22. 12 years. We had good years, and hard ones too. She had 2 miscarriages in the early years. That messed her up more than she let on. After the second one, she said she didn't want to try again. I didn't push her. I told myself being a good husband meant putting her feelings first. Looking back, maybe I should have pushed. Anyway, this whole thing started one Thursday when she said she was meeting Haley at David's bridal. They were going to look at wedding dresses and grab lunch. She left around 10 a.m. Came home around 3 p.m. Said it went great, Haley found something she liked. Cool. Great. No reason to be suspicious. They did it again the next Thursday. And the one after that. Then Leah started dressing nicer on those days. Makeup. Jewelry she didn't usually bother with. She even wore perfume, which she'd stop doing unless it was a date night. I asked her once if she had plans after shopping, and she said, "Just helping your sister feel special. She's nervous about the wedding." I smiled. I didn't think much of it. That's the worst part. How easy it was to believe her. The night everything cracked open, I was cleaning up after dinner. Leah had left her phone charging on the kitchen counter. That never happened. She was always attached to it, on social media, texting her friends, watching dumb videos. I thought maybe she was just tired, but something told me to look. I didn't go looking for anything. That's the truth. I saw the screen light up. Haley. He still hasn't caught on. I stood there like someone hit me in the chest with a hammer. I opened the messages. My hands were shaking. There weren't hundreds of messages, but there were enough. I remember one of the first ones that made my heart sink. Leah, can't stop thinking about last Thursday. Haley, me neither. I hate sneaking but I love what we have. There was no room for misunderstanding. These weren't jokes or inside references. They were meeting behind my back. My wife. My little sister. I closed the phone and sat down in the dark. For 2 hours, I just stared at the wall. Leah came in and asked if I was okay. I told her I felt sick and was going to bed early. She kissed my forehead. I felt sick for real then. The next morning, I ordered a GPS tracker from Amazon. Magnetic mount, app alerts, all that. I watched a few videos on how to hide it, then stuck it under the bumper of her Camry the day it arrived. I set the app to ping me if her car stopped for more than 10 minutes somewhere unexpected. That next Thursday, I waited. At 11:42 a.m., I got the alert. Motel 6 off Route 4. I opened the tracker app. Her car was parked there. I refreshed the screen 3 times, hoping I'd made a mistake. I hadn't. Then, a second ping. Haley's car. I drove out there. Parked across the street. Watched both cars sitting in the back lot. I waited. They were inside for nearly 2 hours. I never saw them go in or come out. But I knew. I didn't go inside. I didn't knock. I didn't want to see it. Not yet. I went home and started a folder. I screenshotted every GPS alert. I opened a new email account and sent copies to myself. The next week, I sat outside the motel again. Same time. Same cars. Same parking spots. I paid a guy I know, Mike, an ex-cop who does side gigs, to run surveillance. He got a blurry photo of Leah and Haley holding hands as they walked into the room. That was enough. The worst part? Leah was smiling. I got motel receipts from one visit. Haley had paid with her debit card. I printed that too. For 4 weeks, I collected evidence. Leah never suspected. She still smiled at me in the mornings. Still asked me if I wanted anything from the store. I answered like everything was normal. I had to. Then her birthday came around. Leah wanted a party. She always did something big for her birthday. Decorations. Friends. Family. She planned the whole thing and told me all I had to do was bring the cake and make a toast. She had no idea what I had planned. I printed everything. Photos. Texts. GPS logs. I put them in a red envelope with her name on it. The party was full. Her parents. My parents. Friends. Haley showed up late, acting like nothing was wrong. She hugged me and smiled like she hadn't destroyed my life. I waited until everyone had a drink. Then I stood up and tapped a spoon against my glass. I got you something special, Leah, I said. A little gift from me to you. Something personal. I pulled out the envelope. Thought I'd read a little first. Share with everyone. I opened to the first page. He still hasn't caught on. Face with tears of joy. Face with tears of joy. I looked right at Haley when I read it. Her face went white. My mother turned her head sharply. Then I read one of Leah's, can't stop thinking about last Thursday. People started murmuring. I held up a photo. The one of them holding hands. Dead silence. My mom gasped. Then she threw her drink, red wine, all over Leah's cream blouse. Haley ran. She shoved through the crowd and disappeared out the front door, sobbing. Leah stood frozen. Shaking. She tried to talk, but no one was listening. My dad told her to sit down and shut up. Leah's mom started crying. People left. Plates shattered. Someone knocked over a folding chair. I dropped the envelope in Leah's lap. Happy birthday, I said, and walked out. After I left the party, I drove for hours. Didn't have a destination. Just Ohio farmland and silence. At some point, I pulled into a gas station in Germantown and sat there, watching bugs slam into the windshield under the lights. My phone buzzed non-stop, calls from Leah, texts from Haley, one from my mom asking if I was okay. I turned the phone off. I slept in my truck that night, parked behind a shuttered diner off I-75. It was cold, and I didn't sleep much. My body was vibrating with anger I couldn't even name. By morning, the news had spread. Leah had told people it was a misunderstanding. That I overreacted. That she was mentoring Haley through a confusing time. That I'd misread things. I heard all this from my cousin, who overheard her talking to some of her friends at a coffee shop the next day. But that wasn't the worst part. 2 days after the party, I got a call from a blocked number. I ignored it the first time. They called again. I answered. "Hey, it's Tony. Haley's ex-fiancé." His voice was hoarse, like he hadn't slept. "I got your file," he said. "The emails you sent." He trailed off. "Then, I think Haley's pregnant." I said nothing. "I haven't touched her in over 2 months, man," he whispered. I clenched the phone so hard it cracked the case. I asked if he was sure. He said she told him right after the party. Claimed she was late and freaked out. Said it was stress. But now he thought she'd been trying to rope him back in before he got the truth. "I need to know if it's yours," he said. I told him it sure as hell wasn't mine. That call lit a new fire under me. This wasn't just betrayal. This was a wildfire. Leah and Haley hadn't just cheated. They'd ruined people's lives. Mine. Tony's. Our families. And now a baby? I needed more. So I confronted Leah. I came back to the house when I knew she'd be home. She looked like she hadn't slept. Her hair was a mess. Eyes puffy. She tried to hug me. I backed away. "You pregnant?" I asked. She blinked like I'd slapped her. "No," she said quickly. I didn't believe her. "You and Haley still talking?" She hesitated. "Answer me." She needed someone. I didn't mean for it to happen. I laughed. Loud. Cold. You don't accidentally sneak off to a motel for months. "I was lonely," she said. "You were always working, and after the miscarriages." "No," I cut her off. "You don't get to spin this into my fault. Not this time." She broke down crying. "I didn't plan it," she kept saying. She understood me. "In ways you didn't." "You mean she was easy to control," I said. "You used her, just like you used me." Then I left. But I wasn't done. I contacted a lawyer and filed for divorce the same week. Told him everything. Sent over the folder. I wanted no chance of her spinning the narrative in court. He said the evidence was strong. In Ohio, adultery still meant something in family court. She'd have a hard time getting anything from me. I also talked to Tony again. "I want a paternity test," he said. "If it's mine, I'll deal with it. If it's not, I want nothing to do with her." Fair enough. We both waited. In the meantime, Leah's lies started to crumble. One of her old friends, Michelle, reached out to me on Facebook. She said Leah had been weird for months. Distant. Always canceling plans. And when she heard what happened, it all made sense. Then she sent me screenshots, texts between her and Leah, months back. Leah. If only you knew what was really going on in my marriage. It's complicated. Michelle, you can talk to me. Leah, sometimes I think about leaving him. But there's someone else I connect with more. Michelle didn't press her then. Now she realized what Leah meant. She also told me something I didn't know. Back in January, Leah took a trip to Cleveland for work. Claimed it was a conference. But she never mentioned where exactly. Michelle thought it was strange because Leah never said what hotel she stayed at or showed photos. I checked my bank records from that month. Found a charge to a hotel in Cleveland. For 2 guests. Not Leah's card, mine. She'd used my account. I called the hotel. Told them I was the cardholder and asked for details. They emailed me the invoice. 2 queen beds. 1 night. Room service for 2. One of the meals had no meat. Haley's a vegetarian. It went back further than I thought. They'd been planning this. Practicing. And I'd been blind. I printed all of it and added it to the folder. Gave a copy to my lawyer. Sent a copy to Leah's parents. I didn't even include a note. Just mailed it in a manila envelope, no return address. Let the truth speak for itself. The fallout was nuclear. Leah's parents called me. Her dad actually apologized. Her mom said she didn't know how to face anyone in town. People at their church had heard. Leah stopped going out in public. I heard she got fired from her job a month later, for personal issues affecting work attendance. Haley moved out of Dayton. Tony never confirmed if the baby was his. Last I heard, she was living in Cincinnati, working at some thrift store and going to prenatal appointments alone. And me? I stayed in the house. Legally, it's mine now. But I still sleep on the couch. Can't stand being in the bedroom we shared. Not yet. About 6 weeks after the party, just when things started to settle down, I got a knock at the door. It was Leah's mom. I hadn't seen her since that night. She looked like she'd aged 10 years. Wrinkled face. Bloodshot eyes. Holding a small plastic bin. "I need to talk," she said. I let her in. She sat at the edge of the couch like she didn't want to touch anything. She handed me the bin. Inside were photo albums. Ones I hadn't seen in years. "This was yours," she said. Leah had it at our house. I flipped through. There were pictures of me and Leah on our honeymoon. Old Polaroids. One of us at her baby shower, before the first miscarriage. Then one that stopped me cold. It was from a family picnic 2 summers ago. Haley was in the shot. Sitting on a lawn chair, next to Leah. Their hands were almost touching. Not obvious, but now I saw it. That day, Leah had told me she had a migraine and left early. Haley left an hour later. I never thought anything of it. But Leah's mom hadn't come just to give me that. "She's not well," she said. "I mean mentally. Leah's not stable. I think she might have. I don't know, twisted things in her head." She looked at me hard. "She told me it started because of you," she said. "She said you were cold. That you ignored her after the miscarriages." I didn't say anything. She also said Haley came on to her first. That one made me flinch. I didn't know who initiated it. I didn't care. They both played their part. She told me Haley was in love with her, her mom said. That she begged Leah not to tell you. That's why she kept it a secret. I finally spoke. That still doesn't explain the motel trips. Or the lies. Or everything else. She didn't argue. Then she said something I wasn't ready for. "She's in therapy now. Court-ordered." I blinked. Court? She got caught trying to buy pills without a prescription. Painkillers. I stared at her. "She's unraveling," she said quietly. "She said you ruined her." I almost laughed. But it wasn't funny. After she left, I dug deeper. I asked Mike, the ex-cop PI I used before, to check into Leah's behavior before the affair. He called a week later with more than I wanted to hear. She'd been meeting people off dating apps for over a year, he said. Mostly women. All under fake names. That shut me up. He sent me screenshots from an old profile he found. The bio was vague, but the pictures were unmistakable. Leah had a burner phone. A second Gmail account. She'd met up with a woman in Cincinnati 3 times the year before, long before Haley was involved. And then something clicked. The hotel trip to Cleveland. The one with 2 meals. That wasn't the first time Leah strayed. It was a pattern. Haley wasn't a one-time betrayal. She was just the one that hit closest to home. I wanted to throw up again. The lies weren't just about Haley. Leah had been lying for years. I found the burner phone. It was taped under the drawer in her old vanity. I only found it because the tape had come loose. Inside were texts from strangers. Code names. Hotel meetups. Sexts. Photos. Hundreds of them. Some were from women. Some from men. She was living a double life. And somehow, I was too dull or too trusting to see any of it. I put the phone in the fireplace and lit it on fire. The next day, I sent Tony everything. He responded with 2 words, "It's hers." The baby. I didn't ask who the father was. I didn't want to know. A week later, I got a letter. No return address. Just 1 page, typed. "You'll never really know what happened between us. But Haley loved me. And I loved her, too. You never saw me. Not really. You only loved the version of me that stayed quiet. The version that obeyed. I tried to be that. I can't anymore." There was no signature. But I knew it was from Leah. The scary part? I think she believed every word. After I read the letter, I didn't sleep for 2 nights. I kept hearing her voice in my head. Not the voice from the party, not the crying and begging. I heard the voice from the first years of our marriage. The one I trusted. The one that called me her man. The voice that used to hum in the kitchen while making coffee. I missed that voice. But that woman was dead. She'd been gone for years. I just didn't know it. I burned the letter. At that point, I could have moved on. Sold the house. Changed my name. Started over in another town. But something inside me wouldn't let go. I didn't want to just move on. I wanted to finish it. I wanted to leave a scar they'd remember. So I made my final move. First, I reached out to a woman named Renee. She was one of the strangers Leah had met from her burner phone. She lived in Toledo. I found her email in one of the text backups I had saved before I burned the phone. I messaged her pretending to be someone else, said I needed to speak to her about Leah for legal reasons. She called me the same day. Turned out, Leah had told her she was single. Said she worked as a part-time counselor. Lied about everything. Renee had slept with her twice before cutting things off. Said Leah had started sending weird texts. Possessive stuff. I told Renee everything. The truth about Leah. About Haley. About the double life. She went quiet for a long time. Then said, she needs help. But you, Jesus, you're sitting on a bomb. I smiled. That's the idea. A few days later, I uploaded a PDF to a cloud drive and set it to public. I named it, The Truth About Leah and Haley.pdf. Then I printed a QR code for that link. I made stickers. Hundreds of them. I stuck them everywhere around town. Gas stations. Library. Church bulletin boards. Public bathroom stalls. I mailed them to Leah's job. To her old high school. I even paid a kid $100 to slip one under every windshield in the Walmart parking lot. And they clicked it. People read it. They knew. The file had everything. Photos. Texts. Hotel receipts. The whole affair. The timeline. Even the evidence from the dating app burner phone. It exposed Leah's years of cheating and manipulation. It didn't spare Haley either. It had their real names, their faces, and the truth. I didn't have to say a word. The town turned on them. Leah got evicted from her apartment after the landlord's wife saw the file. Haley got fired from her retail job in Cincinnati when a customer recognized her face from the PDF. They both tried to deny it. Claimed it was fake, revenge porn, manipulated. No one believed them. It was too detailed. Too real. I never claimed credit. Didn't have to. But everyone knew where it came from. I saw Leah once after that. She was sitting in a Waffle House booth at 2 a.m., hunched over a cup of coffee, eyes sunken in. She didn't see me. I didn't go inside. I just watched through the glass. She looked broken. I should have felt something, satisfaction, victory, peace. I didn't. Just emptiness. Haley sent me a message a few months later. Said she had the baby. A girl. Healthy. No mention of who the father was. Then she wrote, "I wish I could take it back." I deleted it. As for me, I still live in Dayton. Still work maintenance. But I don't talk to many people anymore. My family split into pieces. My parents won't speak to Haley. My mom says she still wakes up crying some nights. And me? I was faithful. Loyal. Trusting. I let it happen. I didn't see what was right in front of me, and I made excuses when I should have asked questions. That's on me. But I ended it the only way I knew how, by making damn sure the people who wrecked my life couldn't hide from it. Now they live in the mess they made. And I live alone. But I sleep. And that's something.